Hello, hey guys. How are you doing? Please leave a comment in the comment section. Welcome everyone. I'm today's host and we have Charles joining us. Charles is the CEO and founder of Swan Chain. I see a lot of people are joining in right now, so we're just gonna wait a couple more minutes. And right now, I think a lot of you are new to Swan Chain and some of you are definitely OG. So if you know what are the names of our past testnet campaign, leave the names in the comment section so we know that you are the OGs. Let us know where the OGs are. Leave the past names of the past campaigns and the testnet names in the comment section. Charles, if you're here, say hi. I think Charles has something with his headphones, so let's wait a couple more minutes. Wow, so many people is here. What time of the day is at your location? It's morning here for me and Charles. Hi, Charles. I see some of you have requests to speak. So later on, by the end of the AMA, if we do have time, we'll have open floor. So if you have any questions, we'll be able to answer your questions by then.
Hello?
Yep, Charles, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm sure the voice good.
It's pretty good. Right, so you still have time to leave your questions for Saturn Testnet in the comment section, and we're still selecting winners for the AMA. So if you want to ask us any questions, please leave them in the comment, and we'll be able to answer them at the end of this AMA. So I think a lot of people have joined, so let's start with our AMA. And so for the beginning of this, let's just start by Charles introducing himself. And I think a lot of you guys are very new to Swan Chain and overall what we do. So Charles, please introduce yourself to everyone and tell us what we do at Swan Chain.
Hi, everyone. I'm Charles, founder of the Swan project. Personally, I've been working in the industry over 10 years. So 6 years ago, well, we are thinking about when the first chance come to us, we see like the GPU mining. Then we think about the more broad view of the computing world. So 3 years ago, we started joining the Filecoin ecosystem, see how the storage become a solid base for the entire decentralized infrastructure, which is we call the DePIN today. Previously, it doesn't exactly have a name. Then we see that after the storage will be the computing, so we decided to build in the computing platform from then. It has been 3 years. We spent a lot of time, dedicated a lot of resource. We also had a lot of French investors help out to make it happen. Yeah. So now we successfully launching the Swan Chain Saturn Testnet. It's a technology based on the OP stack, enable people to using the GPU and CPU resource worldwide to contribute to the AI computing and other cloud computing as well. Yeah, that is pretty much about history of the Swan Chain.
Perfect. So I know prior to Saturn Testnet, there has been multiple testnet campaigns has launched. Can you tell us a little bit about what we did in 2023 and what we have achieved that's leading to this testnet campaign? And this we have said is our biggest campaign ever. So can you tell us a little bit about the past year and what's leading up to this point?
Yeah, back to 2000, we basically have a Jupiter testnet. Before that, there was a Mars testnet. Mars testnet is major test the different option as a bidding engine, auction engine, etc. While the Jupiter testnet major goal is to test the first OP stack based technology on the as a public blockchain. So we do get lots of merits, and we do get lots of results over the time. So, for example, like we have over 28 computing providers, worldwide with 70 cities, and over 100 GPUs join the network, create over 100,000 images, and that was over 2,000 space has been created. So which is amazing, like on the world, there's no other people in the world can build in something similar to the Hugging Face, be able using the decentralized computing power to generate the AI images and music. So that's really um, surprising. Initially, actually, our goal is much less than this, but the community is strong, and also lots of people from Filecoin network, from other networks, support us a lot. During the testnet, we improve our infrastructure, scales of support, and etc. a lot. It also gives us an opportunity to solve find some issue and solve the issue with other product like multi-chain storage. We see a tremendous increasing in the multi storage. They make this multi storage from a product used for small images become a product can support a large scale deployment and performance fine tuning for multi-region access. We also see lots of malicious activities which is solved perfectly. On the community side, like we saw there was the community is growing accordingly. So I think we reached the first 10,000 followers on Twitter, and then on the Filecoin Toronto Open Hack, and also on East Denver, we also get lots of interest about that. This year we are attending East Denver as well. On the Jupiter testnet, we see like there's over there's over 70,000 wallet was created during the event, which is great. And we see like there are also lots of images and lots of transactions happens, but people don't really know much about Jupiter because that is the first test net. So if we look at data today, just as of today is the launching of Saturn testnet for several days, we already have over like over I'm sorry, we already have over 2 million transactions with 160,000 wallets created, which is doubled than even tripled than the one we have in Jupiter testnet. And we also see that there was over close to 5,000 contracts deployed on a system. We can see like the system become more and more robust, and which gives us great confidence for the team and also the community to be successful in the future. Yeah, thanks, Elsie.
Perfect. So as we can see, there has been a lot of transactions going on the Swan Chain Saturn testnet already. So can you tell us a little bit about what is our goal and what we're looking to achieve with this testnet?
Yeah, that's a very good question. We do have ambitious goals. Is like we have lots of we want to see like the chain can support lots of traffic, and the performance testing, and we want is one of the goals. We want like to be perform enough traffic before we launch in the mainnet, because on mainnet there will be more traffic. So this is will be a good test for that. On the other hand, we want to see like more people is deploying contracts, applications, especially like DApps, like DeFi projects or other applications to enrich in the ecosystem development. And we're also looking for partners who are working with us. On the system, there are two major engines we perform. One is a famous AI engine, who's doing the decentralized AI computing. So we're looking forward to like more interesting applications were deployed on the Lagrange system. Lagrange is switched from the Polygon network to the Swan network. So which is great steps. And on the other side, we have a interesting part called ZKUBI, which is a new engine. We have MA 1 month ago talk about ZKUBI. That at that time, people like knows that the ZK proofing will become one technology provided by us to improve the to prove that the provider has the capability to stay with us, and also functionalities working. So basically, like with the new integration of the ZK UBI, it opened a new door for us. It's a new gate for everybody. You'll be able to perform the open a new ZK market. Basically, at the same time, you satisfy with UBI proof, get the daily income, stable income. On the another side, you also participate in the ZK part. And in the world, there was so many ZK chain is deploying recently. So basically, like with Manta, with Alio, all those chain on chains, there was lots of competing market from the ZK side we're bringing to our ecosystem. So we'll see like how big it will be to bring everything to the same table. On the other side, bridging side, we see like the bridges. We have bridges deployed on the Swan Chain. We encourage the community to bring more bridges, so like more people can enjoy the facility of the Swan Chain. We also want to see like people can show their work and about how they develop new features on top of that. Yeah, that's pretty much about what we have today and what I'm looking forward to see.
Perfect. So I see a lot of community members are here, and if they were to start the testnet campaign, I know they all want to contribute to the campaign. What would you recommend to for them to start doing first?
Yeah, there was a couple of things you can do. Like as a normal user, you basically like you're using bridges to interact with the chain, and secondary, you can, if you are a developer, you are be able to deploy your contract, or even set up your bridges or your DEX to doing the transactions. And as people who are interested in AI part, you can use in Lagrange to do perform the image and generation, music generation, and others, etc. And for people who is from as a provider, you can perform running your node. Theoretically, like it should be at least 20, it's at least 12 cores. CPUs with GPU support, you'll be able to participate in UBI. Support if you have more GPUs, high-end GPUs like 4090, or even like A100, you can join the AI computing pools. So there's a lot of ways you can join. If you are a KOL who has a follower, who has lots of followers, or you think like you have or you are artist which is good in video maker or something like that, you can make videos, you can retweet our twitters, and you can present your views and what do you think Swan is good and what do you think Swan can do, and follow it and tag us, and that will be surprised. Thank you.
Perfect. So I just want to re-emphasize the total pool for the Swan testnet is 3 million Swan tokens, and we have been coming out with new and more and more different tasks for you to earn these rewards. So now there are different rewards that Charles just mentioned, and later on we'll be keep pushing out new different things that you can do. So stay tuned for more different tasks that you can do, and stay within the community and follow our Twitter and Discord. And if you have any interesting ideas that you think the Swan Saturn Testnet campaign should include, make sure to submit a feedback form or suggestions, or just leave comments in the Discord channel, and we'll sure to consider those from the community as well. And so now I think we can take some questions from the community. I see some great questions in the comments. So first I see is that what specific features or improvements distinguish the Saturn testnet from other blockchain testnet currently available?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So what make us different is key features of the Saturn. So basically there were the two engines. One is orchestra, which is enable the different regions be able to get the computing task from the AI engine. You'll be able to get an AI task, which requires a lot of matching. You need a collateral to running those providers. And as a user, your payment will be locked until the task is performed. This is a little bit abstract for common users. Sounds like if you don't have AI background, but we have Lagrange, you'll be able to try it I think like maybe tomorrow you'll be able to try it. You will see, follow our Twitter. You will see that you will directly know that feel like how AI was performed on the data center worldwide. On another side, cool feature is ZK UBI. UBI feature is unique of Saturn Testnet. I don't think any other blockchain has a UBI feature. So UBI, what does UBI mean? UBI is for providers when they don't have enough tasks in early stage of the computing network. Maybe there's more demand. There's more provider than the demand. Then, in order to maintain your provider in a reasonable threshold of maintenance, you will get you need to submit a proof like daily to prove that you still own the equipment with the network. And with this network, you will get the ZK tasks. The ZK tasks require you to perform a specific task. It's hard to do calculation, but easy to validate. As long as you can prove you are on chain, prove those computing resources on chain, you will be able to get the credits for your running. Yeah, so those are the two major features make us very different from other blockchain.
Perfect. And can you explain the consensus mechanism implemented on the Saturn testnet and how it enhances network security?
Yeah, so the Saturn Testnet network is the basic consensus sense we are using the OP stack working with the Ethereum. So the layer one consensus actually is provided by Ethereum. On the layer two side, there were multiple.
Sorry, Charles, you just got cut off.
Yes, my alert was popped up. Is it fine now?
Yep.
Okay, great. So the consensus is protected by Ethereum layer one. On one side, like there was multiple DAO organizations in charge of the UBI engine and the AI engine when you're doing the dispatches. There's a mechanism to prove that validated result. So basically saying like when you have a UBI ZK proof on chain, if there's a lot, there will be challenges in the different locations, the challenge result. If you found by like over 2/3 of the challengers that you prove is wrong, you'll get slashing. So this is the layer two consensus slashing on the UBI side. So we have two layers of consensus protection.
Perfect. And in what ways does the Saturn testnet facilitate and encourage developer participation in building the apps on Swan Chain?
So Elsie, are you talking about the incentives?
Yes. And are there any particular perks for them to build on Swan Chain other than on other testnets?
So first of all, like Saturn Testnet is also a layer two chain. So so the first category we are welcome is the DEX and DeFi projects. So those are because how to easily switch different tokens to transactions or user interactions is very important. We also welcome people to apply for dev grants. So dev grants program will be open next week. So we all welcome teams who have experience with DEX to apply for different grants and start building on top of that. On the other side, there are applications of space. So space users can perform different space on the Lagrange. We want to see like how people building variants of space for AI tasks. We already have a stable diffusion, we already have music generations, but we want to see more use cases.
Perfect. And users also want to know more about our definition as a layer two for decentralized cloud computing. So they want to know what exactly does that mean?
Yeah. So that would be there's a lot of changes recently about on the layer two. We see like there was layer two on ZK, layer two OP, layer two like lots of different work. The most layer two what it does is like it's just like doing the reduce the gas cost and then dedicated to that purpose. But we are different. So first of all, this is dedicated to the AI applications. That's why we add lots of features. You'll be able to, for example, each provider have a independent smart contract. You have a user provide a contract, you can see all your information on the contract. And the other side, you will find lots of computing resource in Saturn Testnet or on Swan Chain, which you cannot see in other chains. In other chains, you won't see so many computing providers, you won't see so many storage, so many data centers working for you. Usually, the layer 2 node is only running by several servers, and most people is just running a node, like RPC node. But in us, it's different. For us, the RPC node is not the most important. The important is provider node. So how much computing resources can contribute to the network is more important than just the consensus. So this makes us very different from other chain.
Awesome. And there has been multiple questions asking how are we taking any precaution against bots during the Saturn testnet and also on the network with bots spamming with transactions?
Bots is everywhere, right? So we can see like on Ethereum there are also lots of bots. On Bitcoin, right? There was bots before. Why the bots become less? The answer is simple. Well, there are lots of bots. They span the system. On the other side, they also need to pay the gas. So the more gas they pay, then so this is not free, right? This attack is not free. They need to pay the gas fees. So if they needed to make sure like they have revenue outside of the investment. So this is the same for every blockchain. So for us, like if the major part of the value proposition is for the computing part, if the continue on just doing the transactions bots, well, we cannot emulate that formula, but they won't get the maximum revenue here. So it's like this change, most of the payment is for the computing purpose.
Perfect. And what is the largest challenge you see that we're going to face with the Swan testnet or just Swan Chain in general?
Yeah, that's a good question. We all see with the scale up, with the scale up and the community and also the developer and the transactions, the chain will be more and more crowd for sure. So one day, maybe Swan Chain will also suffer from high gas fee. At that time, we need to upgrade the Swan Chain again, either using ZK technology or Celestia as a module blockchain to absorb some data costs, or even move to other storage layer, which we already have the multi storage tools. We probably can develop another tools to move some traffic from on-chain to off-chain. And but nowadays, also about data validation, data distribution, when there are the terabytes or petabytes of storage needs, for example, on the computing side, we may need a more robust storage solutions other than the multi storage. So that are all the possibilities. The candidates can be greenfield blockchain, can be Filecoin backup layer, and also other cache layer in the future. So basically, I can see the problem where if there's a problem, it will cause by the scale up.
Awesome. Thank you, Charles. So first, I want to let the community know the questions that I have just selected doesn't mean that those were the winners of the AMA question selections. So we'll have our community team and community marketing and community team to go back to all the question lists and select the winners. And you have to include your token address to be included in this selection. And now we will have a couple minutes to open the floor, I think, to leave a couple more minutes for people to ask questions. So I see some requests here. And if you really have a question to ask, please remain your request. If you don't, you just want to say hi, I would suggest just to leave a comment since we're running out of time here. So I see Alex, can you confirm you still have question here?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for getting me up here. My name is Alex. Am I audible?
Nice to meet you. Do you have any questions for Charles?
Yeah, I have like 1 to 2 questions to ask.
Perfect. Go ahead. Sorry, let's let Alex go first.
Hello?
Okay, my question, am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you.
In what ways does the Saturn Testnet facilitate and encourage developer participation in building?
I think we already have answered that question, Alex.
Yes, there will be dev grant program, and you can, and with the contract deploy and other interactions, like there are also other program on the page you can check. Yeah.
Any other questions? Art, you can speak now if you have questions.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
My question is, do you have any plan to hold contests like meme contest and content creator? That's my question. Thank you.
Yes, we do. We do have a program for content creators to contribute to the community. LRC will review also with the program. Like I think if not tomorrow, it will be Monday.
Yes, we'll have more community programs like meme contest, content creation. Just join our Discord and you can see more details there.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining this AMA. It was great to have all of you here. And if you have any additional questions, please join Discord and ask all the questions there. We're happy to answer all of them there. And in the meantime, please follow our Twitter, and we have all the available resources for Saturn Testnet there. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day wherever you are. Bye.